Everybody is watching everybody. Scroll through social media for 5 minutes and you'll see it. Someone bought a new house. Someone launched a business. Someone is traveling to Miami. Someone just hit 6 figures. Someone just got married. Someone just bought a new car. And while you're watching them win, something starts happening inside you. Comparison, doubt, pressure. You start questioning your timeline. You start questioning your progress. You start questioning your worth. But here's the truth nobody tells you. The moment you start focusing on other people's lives more than your own is the exact moment you slow down your own success. If you want to win in America, in business, in fitness, in money, in mindset, in life, you have to master one powerful skill. Focus on yourself, not others. Because when you focus on yourself, everything changes. Let me explain something clearly. The average person spends hours every single day watching other people live, watching their success, watching their lifestyle, watching their relationships, watching their routines. But winners are too busy building. While others are scrolling, they are studying. While others are comparing, they are improving. While others are gossiping, they are grinding. And that is the difference. In the United States especially, the culture pushes competition. Bigger house, better car, higher income, more followers, more status. But real success doesn't come from competing with everyone else. It comes from competing with who you were yesterday. If you wake up every day trying to beat somebody else, you'll always feel behind, because there will always be someone richer, someone stronger, someone smarter, someone ahead. But if you wake up every day trying to beat your old habits, your old mindset, your old excuses, you become unstoppable. Listen carefully. You are not behind. You are just distracted. Distracted by other people's highlights. Distracted by other people's opinions. Distracted by other people's timelines. And distraction is expensive. It costs you focus. It costs you energy. It costs you confidence. It costs you years. The reason most people never reach their potential is not because they aren't talented. It's because they're watching instead of working. Imagine if every hour you spent comparing yourself to someone else, you invested that hour into learning a new skill. Imagine if every time you felt jealous, you turned that feeling into fuel. Imagine if instead of asking, why do they have that, you asked, what do I need to do to earn that? That shift alone can change your entire future. You see, focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is strategic. It means you protect your energy. It means you guard your time. It means you choose growth over gossip. It means you choose discipline over distraction. And in a country like the USA where opportunity is everywhere but distractions are even louder, focus becomes your superpower. Let's talk about something real. Comparison destroys confidence. When you compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20, you'll always feel like you're losing, but you don't know their story. You don't know their sacrifices. You don't know their failures. You don't know what they had to endure. All you see is the result. You don't see the years of rejection. You don't see the nights they stayed up working. You don't see the risks they took. You don't see the losses they faced. You only see the win. And when you compare your beginning to their victory, you cheat yourself. The truth is, everyone moves at a different pace. Some people build wealth in their 20s. Some build it in their 40s. Some find purpose early. Some find it after failure. Some start strong. Some restart stronger. Your timeline is yours. Stop rushing it because of what you see online. Let me tell you something powerful. The only person you are in competition with is a person in the mirror. Yesterday's habits. Yesterday's excuses. Yesterday's fears. If you improve 1% every single day, in 1 year you will be 37 times better than you are today. But you can't improve if you're constantly distracted by other people's progress. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs in America. Do you think they became successful by worrying about what everyone else was doing? No. They locked in. They studied their craft. They mastered their skill. They failed privately. They learned quietly. They worked relentlessly. And one day, the world noticed. But before the world noticed them, they were focused on themselves. Let's break it down practically. When you focus on others, you lose clarity. When you focus on yourself, you gain direction. When you focus on others, you feel envy. When you focus on yourself, you feel progress. When you focus on others, you chase validation. When you focus on yourself, you build value. And value is what pays in America. Not noise, not drama, not comparison. Value. If you want financial freedom, you must build skills. If you want confidence, you must build discipline. If you want respect, you must build character. If you want peace, you must build self-control. None of that happens while watching someone else. It only happens while working on you. Let me challenge you right now. For the next 30 days, reduce the time you spend watching other people's lives and increase the time you spend designing your own. Wake up 1 hour earlier. Read 10 pages a day. Go to the gym 4 times a week. Start that side hustle. Learn that high-income skill. Fix your sleep schedule. Eat better. Plan your week. These small daily actions compound. And while everyone else is busy competing for attention, you will be building momentum. Momentum is powerful. Once you start improving yourself consistently, you gain confidence. When you gain confidence, you take bigger risks. When you take bigger risks, you create bigger opportunities. And when you create bigger opportunities, success becomes inevitable. But it all starts with one decision. Stop watching. Start working. Another truth you need to understand. Not everyone deserves access to your focus. Some people will try to distract you. Some will gossip. Some will criticize. Some will doubt you. Some will laugh at your goals. Let them, because while they're talking, you should be building. Remember this. Noise is loud, but growth is quiet. You don't need to announce every move. You don't need to post every plan. You don't need to explain your vision to everyone. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is move in silence and let results speak. In a world addicted to attention, discipline is rare. Be rare. Be the person who chooses improvement over approval. Be the person who chooses long-term success over short-term validation. Be the person who says, I'm not competing with you. I'm competing with my potential. Because your potential is massive, but will never be unlocked if your eyes are always on someone else's lane. Stay in your lane. Build your lane. Own your lane. And trust that if you stay consistent long enough, the results will come. This is just the beginning. You don't need to be better than everyone. You just need to be better than you were yesterday. And that journey begins the moment you decide. From today forward, I focus on myself. Good. Now let's go deeper. Focusing on yourself is not just about ignoring people. It's about building mental discipline in a world designed to distract you. In America today, distraction is a billion-dollar industry. Apps are designed to keep you scrolling. News is designed to keep you emotional. Trends are designed to keep you comparing. Algorithms are designed to keep you addicted. And while you're distracted, someone else is building the life you want. Understand this clearly. Your attention is your greatest asset. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention goes to drama, your life fills with drama. If your attention goes to negativity, your mindset becomes negative. If your attention goes to improvement, your life improves. The most successful people guard their attention like it's gold, because it is. Every single day you wake up with a limited amount of focus, energy, and time. You can either invest it in yourself or waste it observing others. Let me ask you something honestly. How many hours have you spent watching other people succeed? How many hours have you spent analyzing someone else's lifestyle? How many hours have you spent thinking about what someone else is doing? Now imagine if all those hours were invested into learning marketing, learning coding, improving communication, building your body, building your credit, building your network, building your discipline. Your life would look completely different. This is why focus is power. And the scary part? Most people don't even realize they're distracted. They think they're staying informed. They think they're networking. They think they're just checking social media. But in reality, they are leaking energy. And energy leaks destroy dreams. Here's a principle high performers understand. Energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on problems, you see more problems. If you focus on excuses, you create more excuses. If you focus on growth, you attract growth. The choice is yours every single day. Let's talk about comparison again, because this is where most people lose. In the United States, success is visible everywhere. Luxury cars, high-rise apartments, entrepreneurs posting revenue screenshots, fitness influencers with perfect physiques, couples posting perfect relationships. And if you're not careful, you'll start measuring your life against a highlight reel. But here's what you need to understand. Social media shows you outcomes. It hides a process. It shows you the win. It hides a grind. It shows you the celebration. It hides a sacrifice. When you focus on yourself, you fall in love with the process instead of envying the outcome. And once you fall in love with the process, nobody can stop you, because success becomes a byproduct, not the obsession. Let me give you a mindset shift that will change everything. Instead of asking, why them? Start asking, why not me? But don't ask it with jealousy. Ask it with responsibility. If someone built $1 million business, that means it's possible. If someone transformed their body, that means it's possible. If someone escaped debt and built wealth, that means it's possible. Their success is not proof that you're behind. It's proof that it can be done. Now the question becomes, are you willing to focus long enough to make it happen? Because focus requires sacrifice. You might have to say no to parties. You might have to say no to distractions. You might have to say no to people who don't understand your vision. And that's okay. Growth is lonely before it becomes legendary. When you decide to focus on yourself, some people will call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're acting different. But let me tell you something powerful. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to outgrow old habits, old environments, and sometimes even old relationships. Because you can't build a new life with an old mindset. Focusing on yourself also means taking full responsibility. No blaming the economy. No blaming your boss. No blaming your parents. No blaming your past. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, some people start ahead. Yes, some people get opportunities you didn't get. But focusing on that won't move you forward. Responsibility will. The moment you say, my life is my responsibility, you take your power back. And power is what builds success. In America especially, opportunity exists, but only for those who prepare. If you spend your time complaining about people who are ahead of you, you won't be ready when opportunity knocks. But if you spend your time sharpening your skills, building your mindset, strengthening your discipline, when opportunity comes, you'll be prepared. And preparation meets opportunity to create success. Here's another truth. You don't need everyone to understand your grind. You just need to understand it yourself. Stop explaining your goals to people who have no goals. Stop seeking validation from people who are comfortable being average. Stop asking for advice from people who haven't built what you're trying to build. Focus creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates action. And action creates results. When you truly focus on yourself, you stop reacting to everything. You stop reacting to criticism. You stop reacting to gossip. You stop reacting to negativity. Because you're too busy executing. Think about athletes. When a professional basketball player steps onto the court, do you think he's worried about what someone tweeted about him? No, he's focused on the game. Life works the same way. You can't win your game if you're constantly looking at the crowd. Keep your eyes on your goals. Another important lesson, silence is powerful. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every insult deserves energy. Not every disagreement deserves your time. Sometimes the strongest move is to stay quiet and stay focused. Let people misunderstand you. Let people underestimate you. Let people doubt you. While they're forming opinions, you form discipline. While they're criticizing, you're calculating. While they're talking, you're transforming. And one day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. But by then, you won't need their approval, because you'll have results. Understand this deeply. Focusing on yourself is an act of self-respect. It means you believe your dreams are worth protecting. It means you believe your future deserves effort. It means you refuse to waste your potential on comparison. You have talents nobody else has. You have experiences that shaped you uniquely. You have strengths that, when developed, can create impact. But none of that matters if your focus is scattered. Scattered focus creates scattered results. Locked-in focus creates extraordinary outcomes. So here's what you do starting today. Audit your time. Where are you spending most of it? Audit your conversations. Are they about growth or gossip? Audit your habits. Do they align with the future you want? If not, adjust. Small corrections now prevent massive regret later. 5 years from now, you don't want to say, I could have been further if I stopped worrying about others. You want to say, I built this because I stayed focused. The world is loud, but your vision must be louder. And that vision requires your full attention. Because the life you want is not built by watching. It's built by working. And the sooner you lock it on yourself, the faster your entire reality changes. When you stop focusing on others, you're forced to face yourself. And that's uncomfortable. Because it's easier to scroll than to sacrifice. Easier to criticize than to commit. Easier to blame than to build. But growth begins where excuses end. The moment you stop saying they're lucky and start saying, I need to improve, your life changes. In America, competition is everywhere. Every industry is crowded. Every dream requires effort. You cannot control who started ahead. You cannot control who has connections. You cannot control who gets opportunities faster. But you can control your preparation. And preparation builds confidence. Real confidence doesn't come from comparison. It comes from competence. When you train consistently, you feel stronger. When you study daily, you feel sharper. When you save money and build skills, you feel secure. Security destroys insecurity. And insecurity is what makes people compare. The more you work on yourself, the less you worry about others. Now, let's talk about discipline. Motivation feels powerful, but it fades. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you feel tired, distracted, doubtful. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will always stay inconsistent. Discipline is different. Discipline shows up when you don't feel like it. Discipline wakes up early. Discipline finishes what it starts. Discipline chooses long-term success over short-term comfort. When you focus on yourself, you stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. And discipline compounds. One good day won't change your life, but hundreds of consistent days will. Most people quit because they compare their beginning to someone else's middle. They start going to gym and compare their body to someone who trained for 10 years. They start a business and compare their income to someone who built theirs for a decade. They start creating content and quit because someone else has more views. Comparison kills consistency. And consistency is everything. In the United States, opportunities are everywhere. Tech, e-commerce, real estate, content creation, trades, investing. But if you chase every opportunity you see online, you'll master none. Focused people choose a direction and commit. They don't switch paths every time they see someone else winning, because they understand something powerful. Every path requires sacrifice. You don't see the sleepless nights. You don't see the failures. You don't see the doubt. You only see the result. When you focus on yourself, you fall in love with the process, not the applause. Here's another truth. When you break promises to yourself, you lose self-trust. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, and don't. Every time you say, I'll wake up early, and snooze. Every time you say, I'll save money, and overspend, you weaken your confidence. Focusing on yourself means rebuilding that trust. Start small. Keep your word to yourself. Finish what you start. Do what you said you would do. Each small win builds self-respect. And when self-respect grows, comparison fades. Another reason people compare is because they never define success for themselves. If you don't define success, social media will define it for you. For some, success is fame. For others, it's freedom. For others, it's stability. For others, it's impact. What does success mean to you? If someone wants luxury and you want peace, why compare? Clarity protects focus. Focus protects peace. And peace is powerful. Some people look successful online but are stressed and overwhelmed in real life. When you focus on yourself properly, you build both success and stability. You build income and discipline. You build strength and humility. You build ambition and balance. Because your goal isn't to impress strangers. Your goal is to improve yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Even if progress feels slow. Even if nobody notices. Even if it feels lonely. Keep building. Because one day, when people look at your results, they'll see success. But you'll know the truth. It started the moment you stopped watching others and started working on yourself. And that decision changes everything. At the end of the day, your life is your responsibility, not your neighbors, not your coworkers, not the influencer you follow, not the millionaire you admire, yours. And the moment you truly accept that, you take your power back. Because focusing on yourself is not about ignoring the world. It's about refusing to let the world control your direction. There will always be someone ahead of you, someone making more money, someone driving a better car, someone living in a bigger house, someone getting more attention. But none of that matters if you are progressing. Read that again. None of that matters if you're progressing. You don't need to win against everyone. You just need to win against your old habits. Win against your excuses. Win against your distractions. Win against a voice in your head that says, you're not ready. Because here's the truth. You will never feel fully ready. You build readiness by taking action. You build confidence by doing the work. You build strength by facing resistance. And you build success by staying focused long after others lose interest. 5 years from now, your life will be completely different. The only question is, will it be different by design or by default? By design means you chose discipline. You chose growth. You chose focus. You chose to invest in yourself every single day. By default means you stayed distracted. You stayed comfortable. You stayed watching. You stayed comparing. Time will pass anyway. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. So ask yourself right now, when this year ends, will I be proud of how I use my time? Because focusing on yourself is a daily decision. It's choosing the gym over the couch. It's choosing reading over scrolling. It's choosing saving over spending. It's choosing long-term success over short-term validation. It's not flashy. It's not glamorous. It's quiet. But quiet work creates loud results. And one day, people will look at your life and say, you're lucky. They won't see the mornings you woke up early. They won't see the nights you stayed disciplined. They won't see the opportunities you said no to. They won't see the distractions you ignored. They'll just see the outcome. But you'll know the truth. You built it, brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. So starting today, make a commitment. No more comparing. No more wasting energy on things you can't control. No more letting someone else's success make you feel small. Use it as proof. Use it as motivation. Use it as fuel. But keep your eyes on your own lane. Your journey is unique. Your pace is personal. Your potential is massive. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is focus. So lock in. Silence the noise. Turn your attention inward. Work on your body. Work on your mindset. Work on your money. Work on your skills. Work on your discipline. Day by day. Because if you stay consistent, if you stay focused, if you refuse to quit, there is no limit to how far you can go. This is your life. This is your moment. Focus on yourself and watch everything change.